so he'll turn up if he can.
Fly me to the moon and let me walk among the stars. Let's go see what life is like on Jupiter and Mars. I'm here to talk about Trek and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You can't handle the truth!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending and welcome to Riker's Beard Live. Seriously, thank you so much for tuning in. We've been a bit sporadic with our appearances over the past few weeks. Life gets in the way sometimes. We've both been incredibly busy, had things to deal with. So thank you so much for tuning in to watch us for your Sunday slice of Trek. I mean, especially when there's literally no Trek to talk about. I do think that's why a lot of people tune. Back when this started, when Dan heralded it, that was kind of the point. There was no Trek to talk about, so let's do a Star Trek show where we could all get together, you know.
And nothing else to do because it was lockdown.
Yeah, and it's carried on to what you and I do now, and people tune in every week to see us. I'm looking at the view counter now. There's like almost 2 people, and it's just fantastic that you tune in every week to see us. So thank you so much. Genuinely, that's why we do it. So thank you so much. So let's say good evening to a few. Well, actually, before we say good evening, James, how are you? I've not.
Right,
I've hardly seen you the past couple of weeks. I've been so busy. How are you? How did I like you, champ?
Yeah, so I've been busy working on the transporter today. I'm upgrading it.
Right. Okay. Give us a rundown of that.
Well, basically, it has 3 big blue sections at the back at the moment. Now it's going to have 4. It's bigger. It's better. It's all round cooler. Your microphone is off, Sir Richard. Ears like that. Snake.
Long neck like a giraffe. I love her.
Long.
Love her very much.
Ears like
Antelope.
Dog.
Right, let's jump in. Say good evening to everyone who's on board. Gary, haven't seen you in too long as well. Just been so busy. Gemma, hey Gemma, how are you? Leah, hey Leah. Sam, I miss you. Genuinely, I wake up almost every morning. I think I really miss Sam. I just do. He's lovely. It's I don't like. I have my inherent thing where I just dislike people.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very rare I meet someone and I don't dislike them. And I met Sam, and I was like, I really like you, and I've just met you. That's really rare for me. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, I miss Sam. I can't wait to see Sam again. Amanda, hey Amanda, how are you? Rashid, how are you? James, good to have you aboard. Christoph, recovering from two cold. It's been cold here.
Oh,
It's been really cold here. I played a gig on Friday night in Royal Tunbridge Wells, and when I went into the gig, we unloaded from the car park, and it was really wet. Played the gig, came out, unloaded the car park. It was just a sheet of ice, and I went arse over tit. I proper went down and straight on the small of my back. It's really cold. Really cold. Starfleet colours. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Ruth, how are you? Rashid, can't wait to see. Yeah, none of us can ever wait to see any of your new creations.
yes.
Good. Glad you're good, Gemma. Good. Good. Oh.
Ah.
I really like Sam too. Who doesn't like Sam? He's lovely. We all like. Of course we do. Yeah.
Well, apropos which, sorry, we should cover this off because we haven't really talked about it. But next Saturday is meant to be our away team landing party in London, isn't it? And we decided we'd make a call on it this week as to whether we were going to proceed with it. And we really need to know if anyone's actually intending to come.
Right. Okay. So yes, if anyone's going to intend to join us in London next Saturday, then please do let us know, either privately or in the comments, because it's not something we have to do.
Yeah.
But we
If there's
we've
not
all,
enough people coming, what we might do is just postpone it into the new year when we're not all so busy. But
we've all got a lot. We've all got a lot on, so possibly the new year might be better. Well, Michael's coming.
well, we want to come, but we haven't had very much in the way of confirmation so far.
Yeah.
Splendid. Ah.
So then, what have we been up to? What have I been up to? So interestingly, it's not good news. A friend of mine was stabbed yesterday in a pub. Yeah, it's a okay because he's one of the best players on my pool team. And we're
Who's
only
that?
top of the league by 1 point. Rob, Big Rob Latch.
Oh, Rob.
Yeah, he's the one we beat that guy up in. We defended that guy up in Macy's. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, he got stabbed in the Sea View last night. He was one of the two people that made it on the news.
Sea
That
View
got
is
stabbed.
a pub, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But good news, I'm playing in that pub next Sunday.
We better get you a stab vest.
I literally found out 10 minutes after I agreed to play the gig that my mate got stabbed in last night. It's like, gee, okay, right, well, we'll see how this goes down then. Yeah.
What is his condition?
He's fine. He's absolutely fine. I offered to go and pick him up from the hospital about a couple of hours ago, but he's making his own way. He was only an overnight. He got a cut to the leg. But Rob's a really nice guy. Funny enough, about a year ago, we were playing a pool match in Macy's in Ramsgate, and I won't go into the details. There's a random homophobic attack that happened. A guy came in with a balaclava and started smashing someone in the head. Rob was the first one to intervene, and Rob and I were able to escort the gentleman out of the pub and save the chap who was attacked. And so Rob's of good character. This would not in any way have been something he would have walked into, unless he was defending someone. As I understand it, a bar brawl broke out and he was caught in the middle, chairs, tables being thrown over, kind of thing. So, yeah. So yes, I've got the joy of playing in that pub next weekend. So that should be fun.
Would you believe, Richard, the present Mrs. Dillon was once caught in a bar brawl?
Really?
And would you like to guess which pub she was in?
Was it the Sea View?
It wasn't, no. It was the Cheers Bar in London.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened? I mean, she doesn't strike me as a fighter.
Well, she didn't participate in the fight. In
Oh,
fact,
right.
I think some
She
bouncers
passed someone.
spirited her out. She just happened to be in the pub when the
She
fight
picked
broke
up a
out.
chair, passed it to someone, and someone else hit them with the chair.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
She just
okay.
lined up the ammo. Yeah.
Oh. I won't talk about my ball brawling days there. Behind me, and I'm embarrassed by them. Didn't make me big, didn't make me clever. Now, yeah, so we've been totally busy, and this evening I was like, right, okay, I'm going to catch up on some Star Trek, and I put on some Deep Space Nine, and it was the House of Moog episode where the late great Tony Todd, as Worf's brother Kern, um, comes back onto DS9, and I only got to watch, I think it was about 10 minutes of it before my program got interrupted. I've not managed to watch the rest of it. And it got me to thinking how much Deep Space Nine drew on the kind of seeds planted by the Next Generation, especially with the Klingons. You know, they really, when they brought Worf aboard, that must have been the intention. You know, we're going to carry on some of these plot lines that everyone wants. We want to learn more about the Klingons. And are there any ginger Klingons? There's only one man to ask. Hey, Carl, how you doing?
Sorry, what was that about my brethren there that I heard?
Well, we've never seen a ginger Klingon yet. We have now. Marvelous.
Yes, the thing about the Klingons, of course, never tardy, Carl. Never turn up, 11 minutes, for example, into the middle of the fight.
No. Well, no, they're a bit like a Gandalf of the Star Trek world, aren't they? They're never early, they're never late. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
None shall pass.
You've described my performance in bed to a T there, Carl. But then you would know.
Gosh.
I've seen you watching. It's going to be one of those shows. Okay.
Only in certain lights, Rashid.
Oh dear. Right.
Yeah, so I was watching. We're just talking about Deep Space Nine, and how much of no disrespect, but forget about Voyager. But how much of Deep Space Nine were the seeds planted in Next Generation? I mean, the Ferengis, the Klingons, everything that I think that we really got the most out of with Deep Space Nine. It really was just the Next Generation, but on a space station. It got me thinking. It really was, and I think that's why Voyager was so popular, because it was something different. Deep Space Nine, the first couple of seasons, before Worf was a bit shit, but then most first couple of seasons of Star Trek are shit.
Yeah.
So,
apart from Discovery, obviously.
Actually, the first season of Discovery was pretty good.
Well, that's rather my point. The first 1 or 2 seasons were the good ones.
Thanks, Jason.
Then it tailed off rapidly.
We'll do good in a very loose term, though. Yeah. But all the connections between TNG and Deep Space Nine just got me thinking about it. Would you've been able? Well, how much of Deep Space Nine would have worked without the Next Generation? And also, I picked up right at the start of the episode. I'd completely forgotten about it. One of the things I didn't like about Picard was that Worf had his mechlith instead of a batleth. And I thought that's a bit stupid, because obviously Worf won that batleth tournament in that Next Generations episode. But then I forgot about the Deep Space Nine. Then it was this episode where at the start of it, he's actually saying the mechlith is better than a batleth. That's a better weapon, and he prefers it. And that's my fault for not remembering. Actually, Picard got it spot on. He had a mechlith instead of a batleth. So I was pleased to see that. Right, jumping back in quickly to see her in the comments. Most people saying that they're not able to come to London. That's absolutely fine, no problem. Thank you very much. It's a leg wound. He is on his way home now. Ruthie's stays in the holodeck. That's fine. Gemma can't come as well. No, absolutely fine, no problem. That's literally what the start of that episode. That's really got what me thinking about it, like how much Deep Space Nine actually was a continuation of TNG. Like it literally was a proper continuation, not like Voyager, which is a standalone thing.
It was, but it was told in a very different way,
a lot of
wasn't
world
it?
building,
Which I enjoyed.
it?
Sorry, chap. You both muddied each other out there, as we say in the trailer.
James, after you, sir.
I was just saying TNG did a lot of world building for the Federation and its worlds that really TOS didn't get much of an opportunity to do and didn't really try to be honest. So we didn't know very much about Starfleet and the Federation beyond the Enterprise, but TNG showed us a lot more background, and therefore DS9 had such a rich tapestry on which it could continue.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't. Did we see any space stations at all in TNG? Off the top of my head, I can't remember seeing
TNG,
one. Yeah,
star bases all the time.
you never got to see the proper ins and outs of them, though, did you?
Well, we went on them a
the
few
early
times. Remember when the
seasons,
Bynars stole the Enterprise? We saw quite a lot of that starbase.
Oh yes, there was that one. Oh, and Starship Mine.
Starship Mine. That was the
Starship Mine. Yeah,
yeah, the Barian sweep thing.
yeah.
You also had the obviously we had the courtroom for Measure of a Man.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh, what an episode Measure of a Man is.
Absolutely.
We've got to talk about Measure of a Man for our next. If we do another courtroom drama, I think maybe I know you want to do the trial of Captain Kirk. I think that Measure of a Man might be better. I've got a really good Star Witness in mind that has 3 settings.
I'll tell you another one that would be good for your courtroom. The Offspring, the episode TNG episode Offspring.
Yeah,
with Lal, that would be a good courtroom.
Yeah, do you know what that episode? I'm not ashamed to say it. I must have watched that episode 5 or 6 times. Every time I watch that episode, I am actually almost close to having an emotion. You know, every time I watch it, I get. Yeah,
it's a powerful episode.
Yeah, I mean, right. Jumping quick back into the comments. It was a Kurlith on Picard. Longer and more like a sword. Wolf said it was more fun, but DS9 is superb.
That's when it turned out he had a phaser in the hilt of his Kurleth, didn't he? And Riker said, "You had that the whole time," whereas he's been using the sword.
And we're going to make it a threesome. Do you even hear yourself?
I sometimes think that about a lot of my customers.
Yes, that was Tapestry, of course. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that the city that we always saw. I think it might even have been recycled from Buck Rogers.
Yeah, no, the one where he actually went for surgery wasn't Tapestry, was it? The one where he went for surgery was when Pulaski actually did the surgery to replace his heart.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
And he didn't want her to do it, did he? Because he didn't want anyone to know about his one little weakness. He thought it would make him, lesser a captain.
He didn't want anyone to know about his dicky ticker.
I had one on earlier, and they talked about a racing driver called Leclerc. I was like, "Tis
it!"
Through another of his impenetrable disguises.
Good evening, Alan. You run your festival. That's okay, chap. We were just discussing our next courtroom drama. We're going to do the trial of Captain Kirk, or possibly we'll do the Measure of Man. We'll see. The Offspring is my favourite. Wow, that's bold.
That's a claim.
I think it is in my top 5. As I've said on the show before, my favourite episode of TNG is Lower Decks. But yeah, the
Another
Offspring
good
is
shout.
definitely my top 5,
I
100%.
think a very underrated TNG episode. Well, not underrated, but I think it sometimes gets overlooked. Is the one immediately after Best of Both Worlds, Brothers. No, sorry, Family. Family, it's called.
Yeah, I mean,
Picard goes to the vineyard and sees his brother.
Yes, I really enjoy that episode.
I like the episode. I do not like the actor that plays his brother because
Fair.
he just does not.
Very
He
nasally,
can't-
isn't
He can't share a screen with Patrick Stewart. He's just not on his level. It's
Yeah,
just it does spoil it. It's a shame because it probably would have been a good. I don't know the actor's name, and I feel bad because I couldn't share a screen with Patrick Stewart.
I mean,
Well,
it's a pretty high bar you're aiming at there.
yeah, but you don't. There's very few TNG episodes you watch and you think, wow, he really shot under Patrick Stewart by a long
Yeah.
way. And for such an important episode, I think, they probably should have brought in Michael Gambon. You know,
yes,
he'd
that
have
would
been
have
good.
been a shout.
Yeah, he'd have been good. But it's where someone says it was Michael Gambon. Sam says, Measure a Man would be great fun, as the Courtroom said. I think the trial of Tom Paris would be fun for Spike during the Threshold ice. Well, we can do the trial of Tom Paris. They're all there. They're all there. Doubtless we'll need many in the years to come. So, she said, Tapestry is when Q showed Picard what life would be like without his artificial heart. Yes, that's in my top 5 as well. Tapestry is in my top 5.
It was a surprise episode, wasn't it? Because we weren't given the clue in the name.
Yeah.
Do you know what isn't in my top 5?
Code of Honor.
No, that is. Inner Light.
No,
Inner Light's not in my top 5.
No, I mean, I've got a good 7 or 8 in my top 5, but that's not one of them.
What's the act? Do you know what's better than Code of Honor? Is it Angel 5, the one with the
Angel 1?
Angel 1.
Yeah.
That's in my top 5.
Yeah, and Riker wearing that outfit that we are yet to cosplay.
I was going to say, chap, like next time we're all at a con together, should we all do Angel 1 outfits?
Do we have to?
I think we should. I think it would be wrong if we didn't.
Back to the gym it is then.
I'll be in the gym, number 1.
Yes.
Strapping lad like you. Alan, of course, likes Samaritans now. Yes, the clue is in the name. But yes, the Packlids. Were you particularly pleased the Packlids had a comeback in Lower Decks, Alan? I hope you were. We were.
We search for things.
He said, Inner Light is probably my favourite, if not in my top 5.
Okay.
James said, was not Frakes' first episode directed? Some context required.
I think we were discussing the episode where Picard has the surgery at the time that popped up.
Rashid says, yesterday's Enterprise. Yeah, that's a great episode.
That is an absolute belter, isn't it?
It's a stinker. It was supposed to be a 2-parter, but they cut it down. It should have been a 2-parter.
Often the episode that is hailed as being the saviour of TNG.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Vin says, have you put Janeway on trial yet? Yes, we have put Janeway on trial, but not for temporal directive violations. No, for murder.
Yeah.
For murder. That's what we put her on trial for. And she was found guilty because she's a murderer.
Well, and the fact that the judge had been bribed.
Yeah.
Can the panel think of a better actor than Sir Patrick Stewart? Yes. I can think of probably 4 or 5 better actors. In Star Trek, probably not, no. I think in Star Trek, he probably is the best actor.
Well, I thought you were going to say something controversial then.
That was going to be a tricky corner.
There's some that have come close. Leonard Nimoy, very close. Fantastic actor.
David Warner.
David Warner for you. Andrew Robinson.
Mm.
You know, there's some that come close, but no, I don't think there's in Star Trek. I don't think there's a better actor than Patrick
Christopher
Stewart.
Plummer.
Very good.
Ooh.
I mean, I'd do Christopher, but I'd be thinking of Patrick. Sam says Darmok is one of my favourites. I think the Thunderheld is only against Patrick. Yeah, and this is the chap who was awful in The Wrath of Khan, but he was brilliant in that. He was really good.
Was it Paul Winfield? Was that the name?
Rashid says, I assume you all have hairy chest.
Yeah, we're good on that one, Rashid.
Oh, you're hairy like animal.
Oh, hello, Vicky. She suddenly turns up.
When she turns up when we pull the chest hair out. Hi, Vicky.
Alan's up for cosplaying Daniel. Well, we didn't ask you. Don't you showing us up, Alan? Right, we need to, Alan. We've all got to make sure we get the same fabrics. We need to do a WhatsApp group or whatever, so we're all on the same page to get the right fabric. Isn't it? Well, no, it's like a sparkly holographic affair.
Yeah, it's pre-sequin stuff, but
I'm sure Alan will find it out. Frakes, a bit of a. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the one. Yeah. He was perfect for the role.
I mean, he defined Kirk.
Yeah.
Lee says, I like how TNG and most of the Star Trek series deal with hard moral decisions and shows how humanity in the future might have better solutions with something else. I mean, it's always been a little bit misunderstood that Star Trek is about science fiction and technologies and stuff like that. It's not. The whole point of the original Star Trek series is to give a mirror for humanity to look back at itself. And that's
on which they paint, isn't it, Richard?
Yeah, that's the canvas, and that's what's special about it. That's what, for me personally, that's what Star Trek is about. That fundamentally, that's what Star Trek is about. It's you going to the stars and looking in the mirrors, look back at yourself, and and I don't think there's a series genuinely that's done that better than the original series. The original series did that better than. Yeah, we know, Vicky. Yeah. Vin says, do you have any good sources for cosplay uniforms you could share? I do not. I'm sure people in the comments will do. Oh, and hang on a minute. No. What, is it a no? Where do we get our DS9 ones from? They were really good.
Jackets, as I was just saying.
ASL. Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
you know what? I'll just shut up for a minute.
James, over to you.
So, so there are a few budget retailers you'll find on eBay, and you will bear in mind you will get what you pay for with those. There is another one at the moment I've seen doing the rounds on the costume forums. I think it's called Memento Studios, and they are doing an absolutely beautiful Monster Maroon. Now, it's one of those things where they don't tell you how much it costs online. You have to ask, so it's not going to be cheap. And I have a Monster Maroon, and I'm quite happy with it, but it is, very much second tier. The fact that I've got the correct belt buckle and the insignia is really what saves it from looking a bit naff otherwise. But I see Ruth in the comments is mentioning Koza Mart, I think. I wouldn't say they do quality. I'd say they do quantity, to be fair, Ruth.
Yeah,
but,
I had
seamstresses can fix them up.
I had a fairly decent Strange New Worlds Captain Pike from Cosmart. Not for this year, obviously I wasn't there, but for last year. And yeah, it wasn't half bad. I didn't have to make any adjustments to it. It was pretty good, straight out of the box, so to speak. Certainly good enough to have my photo taken in with the Strange New World guests. Alan, I'm going to guess the fact that it says Christie's there means it's probably top tier.
That's presumably something. I'm going to see if I can open the link without
That's
doing
going to
it.
be a screen used actor no longer around original.
Yeah, so I can't paste it from the comment into the window, but there we are. What's he got here? Regal Fabric Gallery, blue chiffon. Yes, he's all over this, isn't he?
Oh, sorry, I was trying to copy that rather.
I was trying to paste it as well, but I couldn't copy it.
Yeah, it's not letting me. Oh dear.
There we go.
How are we doing? We managed to. Loving the name, James. The Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. I've got to be honest with you. I've got to be honest with you, James. It sounds like that you've got a secondary duty in that company.
So this is the joy, gents, of being able to touch type. This is the link that Alan sent.
Oh, boy costume.
Oh, suit you, sir. Suit you, sir. Suit you.
$1,800 US.
Would you like to wear it, sir? Would you?
Got an estimate of 500 to 700.
I think it's worth it. If you went to the pub wearing that, you'd be guaranteed to pick up someone.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right, back on track. Right, what we were talking about, Star Trek. Now, so we were talking about. Well, I sparked the conversation about Deep Space Nine and how it was a continuation of TNG. So if you leave everything else out, so after Deep Space Nine, we had Voyager. Love Voyager, but it wasn't really on. You know, we had a couple of bits back home episodes, not much really. There wasn't much what we call Golden Age lore, you know, that was spelled out in that. And then we went to Enterprise, which pissed us all off at the time, but we've grown to love it. Then we've had nothing since. We had Discovery, which was like a kick in the balls and a punch in the tit. And then we had...
Don't mince words, Richard. Tell us what you really think.
And then we had Picard, which... Now, before we kind of get on to the theme of this, is it a continuation of TNG and the rest of it? I mean, how do we all feel when Picard was announced, when we knew we were getting it? And what did we think we were going to get? What did we think was going to happen?
Well, we thought we'd get a continuation of the story, didn't we? So, after Nemesis, outside of the expanded universe in comics and novels, we had no idea what happened to our heroes from any of the series. Then suddenly we thought, oh, great, we're going to go back to the 24th century, because everything apart from that had been strange new worlds and so on.
So I think we had a really interesting take on what happened to the universe. I think the fact that they were forced very much to make friends with enemies, which again I love about Star Trek. I think it's fantastic, showing you can always give someone a second chance, and you can be allies with people who are enemies. It's never time to stop making peace, basically. And I love the idea that the Romulan Empire had no choice but to ask for help from the Federation. I think that's in the in-universe plot. I think was fantastic. What about what they did with Picard's role in it? I mean,
what do you mean? The fact that he'd quit in disgust over Starfleet walking away?
I mean, for me, that's just.
Sorry, Richard.
No. You go first, and I'll tell you where you're wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got no doubt. I think it absolutely epitomised what the character of Picard's all about. No matter who he was aligned to, what the situation, he just went with what he believed was right.
You see, for me, I was really disappointed with what they did with the character over Picard, because it was walking away from a fight. His quitting in disgust felt very much like he was a Union man. You know, he had a lot of power in the Federation. He had a lot of power in the Klingon Empire. You know, he could have used his influence. He could have done more than just walk away in
You've
disgust.
only got power over certain people, and when those
Gowron
people
was the
change,
arbiter of succession, but Gowron was dead.
yeah,
But-
when
but-
those people change, that power shifts, and suddenly you don't have as much influence as you think. And I've,
I
I've
just-
seen this on a local level recently, sort of like around my business. You know, certain people, characters within the local area, etc. And funnily enough, I've been witnessing this recently amongst some of the people that come into my pub, and it. You know what? It's quite sad to see sometimes how much of an impact that can have on someone without them realizing it.
You see, I would argue that his quitting Starfleet and walking away from the situation did more harm because I think the Romulans lost their voice. He did that. He did that one. They said it at the start. I think Sam's just said, yeah, the interview he did. Great Picard moment. It was about 10 years too late, wasn't it? Because he went into obscurity. He's only finally granted an interview. Well, hang on a minute. Where were you? For me, it was written like he. And I'm not saying it's bad for the character development because I think a lot of Picard was his redemption because that was a really stupid thing for him to do. You know, and they used his ex-ho, I've forgotten the name now, the really bad actress.
Raffi.
Yeah, they used Raffi because he sold her up the river as well. And they used her as the springboard for that. But yes, it was absolutely correct. He sold everyone out for that because he just was a grumpy shit. And I thought, is this then? At the time, I was unsure because I was like, well, this just seems very un-Picard, but he is human. He will make mistakes.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
everybody has a limit.
Yeah, everyone has a limit, and they will make a mistake. And I did wonder if the whole original idea of Picard was his atonement for that fuck up.
The realization.
Yeah, and I don't. I think if they'd have played on that a bit more, it might have been better as a series. You know, I only count the first and second because the third was just fan service. But I think the first and second, if it had been more about Picard's atonement for making a mistake, for him fixing an error, I think that might have been better. Only my humble opinion.
Do you think he went and put right that which once went wrong?
I think that was what the series was about. What I didn't like is he never seemed to take responsibility for it. That was very un-Picard like. That I didn't like. When he was Captain Picard, when you're in a position of power, that's fine. You can't ever be wrong. You've just got to get on with it. But the way they toned the series, I was always waiting for Picard's redemption. It never came from him being a prick. And he was a prick. But he never owned up to it. And that bothered me a bit. I think that's probably what bothered me the most about Picard. Didn't mind them making him a prick. He's human. We can all make mistakes, but let's have him be human and atone for it.
Answer me this, and Carl, you may know the answer to this. So the supernova that destroys the Romulan star system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that destroys one star system, as I understand it. But the Romulan Empire was huge, just like the Federation. I mean, I'm still confused. How much of the Romulan Empire was destroyed by this supernova?
Fair question.
Why did they need the Federation to ferry billions of them as refugees to other planets and refugee planets? They didn't have any of their own. I never really understood what exactly is supposed to have happened.
I mean, the kind of impression that you get was that it was some sort of mega supernova that was going to wipe out a much bigger sort of like area than just the one star system. And I suppose potentially it comes down to the old analogy of cut off the head and the snake dies.
Who knows, or dares to wonder?
Interesting question, though. one of those, definitely one of those Captain Cannon questions.
Well, it echoed very much Undiscovered Country, didn't it?
Mm.
You know, and which was, I thought, a very good film. I thoroughly
Excellent
enjoyed
film.
it. Yeah, excellent film. And again, it's the Federation stepping up when needs must be. Doesn't matter how you got to the table. The point is you're at the table and you're there and you're making the best of a bad situation. And I thought the premise and the law, the Star Trek law, was very. I'm repeating myself now. I've gone over this before, but yeah, I thought the law was good. How they handled it, not so much. But there we go. Everyone, wave goodbye to Ruth.
Toodle-pip, Ruth. Right, if she's gone, let's talk about her.
Yes.
Oh my God.
What? Have you received a message? What?
I'll be back in a moment. Ugh.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Again.
So,
Well.
According to Sam, a supernova can impact neighboring star systems if it's big enough.
Plausible.
Yeah. So it does explain that in one of the novels. It was in the was it the Dark Veil that it goes into that?
Was that one of the trilogy that our friend James Swallow contributed to?
Yeah. So the Dark Veil was James Swallow's, wasn't it? I think it does go into that a little. Yeah.
Yes, I mean we know things like the Nexus can affect gravitational constants and interfere with the patterns of other planets and so on. Here's a question. Here's a science question I don't know the answer to. Gravity. Are the effects of gravity felt faster than light?
No, I don't believe so.
I suspect probably not, because otherwise gravity could probably be used as some way of faster than light communication, couldn't it? But if that is so, if a supernova causes gravitational changes, then if you're 4 light years away, you've presumably got 4 years to prepare.
Yes.
Either it travels faster than light or it doesn't, Carl. So
Absolutely. No, sorry, I kind of I half zoned out there and caught half of what you said because I was trying to read the comments at the same time. I blatantly can't multitask at this time of year. So
gravity travels at speed of light. Well, the effect of gravity is felt in the same way at light speed. So yes, okay. So there we go. So a supernova in the Romulan system wouldn't necessarily affect anything, for light years out or years to come.
The problem is with addressing any space disaster is that you're still thinking of time as linear, and in space it's really not. So when you're addressing
so linear again,
James, you were referring to light years as a measure of time, then, rather than distance. What were you playing at?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Honestly, man, how many faux pas in one sentence can you make?
It's
I'm just going to go
difficult.
and have some red wine with my fish course.
My son's
there's another mistake. It should have been white, man. White.
My son loves science and wants to be a science teacher, and he's very good at it. And when it comes onto existential physics, he's really interested, but he understands it with a child's simplicity, which actually makes it easier for me to understand it. But the main point is stop thinking of time being as linear. You can't, and especially when you're thinking about a galactic natural disaster. By the time you're showing up, it's happened. It's done. It's very. If you ever get the chance to read, if you're stuck for if you're in hospital or whatever, got a load of time, read some Ian M. Banks books, his culture books, and they address it really well. Or well, there's a couple of them, but Ian M. Banks probably does it best.
I must tell you this: my gorgeous little daughter Isabel, who is 7. Said to me earlier today, Daddy, you know how much I love science. I've decided I want to be just like you and be a captain. I went, I'm an admiral, Isabel.
And did she say...
Pay attention.
Way to encourage there, James. Way to encourage.
Did she say, Admiral? Admiral Dylan?
Oh, there we go. Well, it was nice to know that she's engaged in the idea of science. Speaking of which, Sam says, no, hang on, where is it? That one. There we are. He's got a presentation on gravity.
Ooh, do share.
Well, because gravity is a weird one because that's not linear either. So gravity just is. That exists outside of everything. Sorry.
No, it doesn't. It's one of the four main fundamental forces, isn't it?
It exists outside of everything. Everything.
Well, there's gravity, magnetism, the weak electromagnet.
That's as we experience it. In physics, it's a constant which is determined by the mass of everything in the universe. So it gets really when you have to measure things in physics, you use gravity because that's one of your constants.
Simple. Just alter the universal constant of the universe.
Exactly that. Yeah.
What Geordie is saying, Q, is that is beyond our capabilities at this time. Yes. Now, I was reading about gravity waves being detected. What was it, Sam? You can tell us 4 or 5 years ago now. But then, yes, there are theories that it behaves like a particle as well. And then we get back to the double slit experiment and all of that. Oh, it's so confusing.
Oh, the double slit experiment. Fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
We're in a simulation. In Trek Subspace, this is what I love about Star Trek, and that's the blend of science fact with fiction. They do it very well. I think, if I'm honest, though, the best I've seen it done is definitely Battlestar Galactica, the reboot. I think they do it very well. I'm well impressed with that. But Christoph says, if Q snapped away our sun, Earth would stay in the circular orbit some 8 more minutes. I'm Trek Sun, Dr. Emmett Don. Again, who would know? Parenting done right. We try our best.
Wait a second. Bring up that picture of Alan again. Is he with a mime?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Look.
Yeah, that's the mime from SeaWorld. Is it SeaWorld? No, we don't go to SeaWorld. That's been cancelled, isn't it? It's the go onto YouTube and look at the mime.
I'm familiar with the guy. Yes.
Yeah, he's really funny. Gravity is pretty linear. It drops off according to an inverse square law. Not on Event Horizon, it doesn't. There we go. So, in conclusion, we've agreed that Picard could have been better if he'd agreed he was an arsehole. We think that Deep Space Nine did a very, very good job of carrying on the torch from The Next Generation.
Absolutely.
We are still waiting for a continuation of the golden age of Trek. I think we are. I think we're still waiting for it.
If only there was some plan for something like Star Trek, say, Legacy.
Well, there's an interesting concept.
If only that had all been teed up in some way and the public was clamouring for it and telling the studio executives, we want this. Don't give us Tilly in Starfleet Academy. Give us this.
Let's have a think back to when Voyager and Deep Space Nine finished, and we all wanted the golden age to continue, and instead we got Enterprise. And at the time, it was not well received, but we've all grown to love it. Do you think the reason they did that was because they felt, actually, do you know what? Let's leave the golden age alone. Because they've tried to continue it now with Picard, and it didn't really work, did it? So were they best off leaving it? Did they actually make the right decision?
Well, you can bring the golden age back, but just not use legacy characters. So you can have another ship and crew out there exploring, and you might have cameos from legacy characters, but not rely upon them. So yes, we can absolutely go back to the golden age and just carry on with the bits we like.
Well, the spirit of the golden age, and I'm glad you said bits we like, is being done now with Strange New Worlds. Do you think they could have made strange, and obviously wouldn't be the same characters, but the premise of the series, do you think they could have done continuing on from Voyager.
I was going to say,
and
is it more when you refer to Golden Age? Because I've come across this a couple of times when I've read different forums, different posts and stuff. A lot of people refer to the Golden Age of Trek as the period between 87
86
was it?
to 2005,
Yeah.
if you include
So
Enterprise.
people refer to it as in our timeline, that was your Golden Age. And other people refer to it as actually the in-universe timeline as the Golden Age.
So I refer to the
Late
Golden Age.
24th century, early 25th century.
Yeah. So when you're referring to the Golden Age, are you referring to the in-universe timeline that you want to see more of?
Yeah, let me explain to you. So the Bronze Age was the original series and the animated series. The Silver Age was season 1 of 2 of the Next Generation before Riker got his beard. The Golden Age was post beard, and then concluded with the final episode of Voyager.
You're talking 1988 to 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after that, we got Enterprise, which we know and love, but it wasn't Golden Age. It wasn't.
No. So you're talking in-universe timeline, and that's where you want to see more.
Well, the question I'm asking is, do I? Or do I want it left alone?
Well, it has to be.
Question I'm asking.
We can't go back to 2001 and inhabit then, can we?
Well, I mean, in terms of a series, though, do we? I mean, we've had our Enterprise reboot with Strange New Worlds. We've done that.
Right.
Okay.
Are you just pining for nostalgia that's no one's ever going to be able to scratch that itch for you?
No, I'm fed up seeing Kirk and Spock rebooted. I mean, we've had the original, then we've had the Kelvin universe, Kirk and Spock and McCoy, and then we've had the Strange New Worlds, Kirk and Spock and everybody. Why do we keep revisiting the same characters? Let's have new ones.
Yeah.
Well,
But if they then do a series based in that golden era of the TNG time period sort of thing, TNG to end of Voyager, is everyone then going to suddenly compare and go, yeah, but it's still not TNG, is it? Because that's what they did with DS9.
I'm glad you said that, because Vin's raised a good point here. He said that the issue with the newer Trek is that they decided to go dystopia, easier to sell than utopia, and the fact that we get to So I would argue no. In the golden age of Trek, the dystopia was Deep Space Nine. 100%. It was 100% dystopia. The TNG literally laid out the stall and said, "This is utopia. The armchair of the sky of space is going around, and time of peace." And then Deep Space Nine turned that on its head completely and said, "There's a big war going on, and it's not actually that nice out here." So, take your point, but no, I think Star Trek can do dystopia, and it can do it well. It's proved that with Deep Space Nine and Year of Hell with Voyager. Yeah.
It's a case of what's the price you have to pay for that utopia sometimes.
Now, here's the physics lesson for us.
Can you live with it?
2015, the first gravitational wave. And then 8 years later for waves from supermassive black holes. Yes. And realistic physics in sci-fi, The Expanse, they really do.
Yeah, I've watched The Expanse. It's just so
physics.
Fucking boring, though.
Never watched it. It's been on the hit list for years. Never got round to it.
I've tried. Thomas Jane's great in it, but it's just it's hard work. It's hard work. I do get why people like it. Same as I get why people like Stargate, but it's not for me.
New Stargate series has been greenlit, though. Richard, I know about that. It's a continuation. Yeah. So the last proper Stargate was, I think, 10 years ago, possibly even longer than that, Stargate Universe, and it was left on a cliffhanger.
I don't care.
You obviously don't care, but yeah.
I only ever caught the odd episode of it here and there. Again, never one I really got into. I enjoyed the movie.
I'm a big amateur Egyptologist, so I love the movie, but I can't be bothered with. I've tried. I just really can't. No, not for me. Don't want.
Well, here's a question for you then. If I can get to it. There we are. Oh, no, not that one. That one. There we are. Legacy or United? What's United?
What's Legacy? Sorry.
Would you rather see Legacy is what's been proposed as following
Yeah.
Captain 7 on the Enterprise G.
Sorry, following who?
Captain 7. Remember at the end of Picard,
7 of 9.
7 of 9 is now the
No,
captain of
as
the
a
Enterprise
captain.
G.
No, she's
No,
my
she is the
captain.
No, she is the captain.
Yeah, that's
No,
where.
she-
Yeah, that was the
no.
end of Picard.
That
Did
was
you
the
watch
end of
the
Picard
Picard?
season 3.
That would be a shit series. She'd be a rubbish captain. She'd be terrible.
Or do you
Absolutely. She'd be a
remember
good
who her
science
first
officer.
was then?
She'd be a great science officer, rubbish captain. Sorry. If she was going to be captain, you'd need a really good first officer because she'd be boring as fuck.
Yeah. Do you know who it is?
Who?
Did you not watch the end of Picard?
I watched it with you and Bo and Dee.
The last episode, they fly off. It's Raffi.
Raffi as number one. Oh, God, the alcoholic.
The second officer is Jack.
No.
Yeah, with
She
Jack.
needs to be booted out of
Special
Starfleet. She needs to
guy.
get her act together. Jesus, she's not a first officer.
Well,
She's
Well, she's
rubbish.
off the bottom
so
now and
United,
everything.
it
It's,
appears in the comments is the project proposed with Archer back as president of.
oh, yes,
Yeah,
I did see something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Archer
No,
back as president. I do understand that it's been billed as a political thriller, which possibly might not touch everyone's oyster.
No, it sounds interesting. It doesn't necessarily. I suppose it depends how reflective it is on what's going on.
I mean, I love Scott Bakula and I'll watch anything with him in it, regardless if it's Star Trek or not. So,
Yeah, my worry about that is they'll try to make it too relevant.
A lot of people are saying I'm the best president ever. A lot of folks are saying that.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, big mistake they made with Discovery. Really big mistake they made with Discovery.
Big mistake.
Just to rather than again, you reflect on Golden Era, and it was very much a case of, you know what, if you didn't understand what they were trying to tell you, you could just sit and watch a damn good episode of telly. But when you did understand what they were trying to tell you, it made it even better. Whereas Discovery was very much a case of, oh, you don't quite understand. Well, let me make sure I spoon feed it to you so you understand.
Yeah, but that's what I love about Golden Era Trek, because
Absolutely.
I watched it when I was younger and I didn't understand. But you know what? It was fed in there. Like the basics on some level. I 100% on some level, Star Trek had a massive bearing on me now because I watched it when I was growing up. 100%. Whether I understood it or not, it made me a better fucking person.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. Whether I understood it or not, whether I was a good person at the time or not, now I thank myself a lot for watching Star Trek when I was younger more than anything else for the person I am now. And I'm not the best person in the world, but I do like to think the best parts of me have come from that, have come from watching and understanding Star Trek. Those are my best bits. Those are the bits I pass down to my children because they're the ones that really made me fearless, unafraid to stand up and be called, not just call things into question I don't like, but call myself into question. These are all things I've picked up from Star Trek. They've made me the man I am. And I'm not the best man in the world, but yeah, Star Trek made the best parts of me. And I'm never shy about telling anyone that.
Here.
This is where you will say you're a lovely guy, Richard.
You are an absolute guy, really. And it's a privilege to call you my friend.
Oh gosh, we're about at time. Any other business? We've waffled on about so much Star Trek tonight.
Wow, we've actually gone deep Trek and everything.
Deep.
No, I think
Any other business? We're all good.
Right, so we'll review the responses from everybody about whether or not we're going to London next weekend. And next week, where are we now? It's the 23rd today. It's Doctor Who Day, isn't it? The 62nd anniversary of Doctor Who. So this time next week will be the 30th, so it'll be the very end of November. Gosh.
This time next week, I'm playing a gig at that pub my mate got stabbed in, so probably won't be on the show.
No, but hopefully you'll be here the week after.
Well, I'm playing 6:30 to 8:30, so I might be back in time to suddenly jump on if I haven't been stabbed.
You're not going to get packed up and home in half an hour, are you?
Oh, you haven't seen me. Honestly, you haven't seen me pack up. I'm gone. Yeah, I don't know about.
Well, of course, yes. In a week's time, we'll know who has bought the new Lego kit, and will tell us if they already have buyer's remorse.
We've hardly talked about that. So, are you guys all looking forward to this Lego kit?
Well, my
I
brother-in-law
don't think I'm
apparently
going to
is
go
planning
for
on
it
buying
because it
it.
just looks rubbish.
Don't say it's rubbish, James. People might have already bought it.
Yeah, my
No, they can't
brother-in-law.
afford it yet.
Yeah, apparently he's going to go and buy it, and he's going to show me some pictures of it when it's done. And if he's not even a Trekkie, he doesn't like Star Trek, he's Star Wars, and I don't begrudge him that, but I do begrudge him having the Lego set and me not.
Well, are you going to buy it then, Carl?
No, I'm just going to steal it from his man cave.
Can you not distill like one piece out of his kit?
Yes, yeah. I'll steal the 10 forward brick. I'm having that 10 forward brick. You listening, Mark? I am coming for your 10 forward brick.
Well, at least he's now going to know who's got it.
No, he doesn't watch the show. He doesn't like Trek.
Why is he buying the?
Because he's a Lego fiend. He is an absolute Lego fiend.
So
And he
I'm
probably
going
just
to
wants
buy
to
the
make me
knockoff
jealous.
Home Alone house from AliExpress to build with the kids because they like Home Alone. I thought that'd be quite a nice Christmas thing to do.
But, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed the show, please do hit the like, the love, or the blowjob face emoji, and the subscribe button, all that jazz. And until next week, if I'm still here. Actually, I have been stabbed before and I survived it. So I'm fairly
go back an hour.
Well, I've got a lot more padding now than I had last time I stabbed.
More for them to get through.
I got stabbed in the back. It came off my rib. I've got a really good scar. I got stabbed in the back. It's fucking nasty old knife as well. Anyway, until next time, look after yourselves and each other.
Don't have nightmares.
Tatty bye.